The temperatures already feel like it, but spring will be here before we know it. So I want to help you get your lawn and garden in tip-top shape before spring is officially upon us. So the easiest way to do it, I feel, is putting together a checklist. So I've got my list here, and it goes over everything that's going to help my lawn and garden not only thrive this spring, but also look its best. So starting with the first step, winter has passed, your lawn is starting to grow again, the plants, shrubs, trees, and the weeds. So you want to pull any visible weeds in the lawn and landscape, and we can go ahead and walk through it and see if that's an issue in this landscape here. I did apply a thick layer of mulch in the fall, which has helped combat weeds, but I do have a couple that have still decided to pop through. So you want to walk around, make sure that there aren't any existing weeds, and if there are, go ahead and pull them. And then the second thing that you want to do is take care of any overgrown shrubs, trees, dead branches, anything that might be touching the house, or even especially the roof. If you have palm branches that are touching the roof, you definitely want to cut those down so that they don't cause any damage. We've got an Adenidia palm here that is touching the house, so I want to go ahead and trim that. If it touches the roof, not only is your homeowner's insurance not going to like it, but it's really not healthy for the maintenance of your home either. You might have to replace your roof in a shorter time frame than the life expectancy really is. My absolute favorite thing to do for a spring landscape is to add a pop of color. So I'm going to install this warm season annual, and it's going to contribute beautifully to the overall color that I'm looking to achieve this spring. Now we'll go ahead and dig a hole here like we would for any plant that we would be planting. And I'm going to go ahead and do all 3 of them because I know I'm going to do them in a line. You don't have to do it very deep. Annuals usually have a small pot size, either a 4.5 inch or 6 inch pot. So not a super deep root system that needs a lot of depth in the soil. And you also don't want it sticking up really far above your soil either. So we'll go ahead and plant it right here and then cover it, the base of the annual, with soil. And because I am planting these so early, I can leave them in well throughout the summer, and to help foster the most healthiest growth and full blooms, I would recommend using the Floracan 14-5-14 for annuals and any other blooming plants that you have in your landscape. After we have our annuals installed, we'll go ahead and add mulch, not only to help with moisture retention throughout the spring season, but also to help keep weeds at bay. A heavy layer of mulch is going to suppress weeds, or hopefully keep weed seeds out of the mulch. So now that we have your garden and landscape in shape for the spring season, now it is time to turn our focus to the lawn. So the first thing that you want to do after a winter season is make sure that your irrigation is turned on and that it is set for the appropriate days and times for watering. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the irrigation here. If you need to adjust the head at all, see, this one is going on the driveway, which we don't need to water concrete. So I'm going to adjust it. And then we'll be all set. Now that we've got our irrigation set and ready to take us through the spring season, it is important to make sure that our lawn is going to be as green and healthy as can be. So if you have a St. Augustine lawn, zoysia or Bermuda, I recommend you using the Bayer Weed and Feed for southern lawns. It has atrazine in it, and not only is it going to fertilize your lawn, but it's also going to help keep weeds at bay and kill any existing weeds. And then next we have our Bayer Complete Insect Killer. Spring can be rough on the lawn. So if you are experiencing any problems with insects to start with, or you have in the past, I would suggest putting down the Bayer Complete now before the pest and disease get into your lawn. Taking care of the problem before it starts is much better than figuring out you have a problem in the middle of the season or even when it's too late. So the Bayer Complete is a granular as well as the Southern Weed and Feed for lawns. So you can put them both out in your lawn with the spreader and you'll be good to go for the entire spring season. So now that we've got your lawn, landscape, and garden ready for the spring season, it can take on anything with beautiful blooms and a green grass. I wish you a happy spring.